Alright, global players, we have the next Dokkan Fest announced for Global Dokkan. Turles is coming. Now, I would say this. I'm going to pull his banner up real fast while I talk. I actually forgot to do it. Oops, I'm a silly gator. I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend players summon on this anyway, like, no matter what. The thing is, if you're a free-to-play player in this game, which are the players I'm essentially talking to with this, you do have to understand that you can't summon on every single banner. You're not going to pull every single character, blah, 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 blah. You have to understand when to not summon. So we look at this. Turles, I mean, as I'll get into, I guess, right now, I mean, is, I would almost say, the definition of mid, I would say. I think Turles has settled into a not very good or not very bad role, right? Which is, he's kind of just there. I do think there's a scenario where we could get, you know, say like a really tough fight against a Goku family enemy or a Kid Gohan enemy. I mean, the Kid Gohan portion of it would be relevant for like, if like the LR Krillin and Gohan was an enemy or something like that. But essentially, if Turles is able to get this intro off, he functions in a very different role, and he's having a really big impact on the team. I mean, for this to be really good, it's like we still have to pair him with good villains, which there's a... well, I mean, there's a lack of good villains, I would say, probably. Not really too great for villains right now. So even with his incredibly strong intro, I mean, this has to be the strongest intro effect. I mean, I guess like Orange Piccolo's intro is crazy too, right? That helps him dominate all these fights, but like this is really busted. This exact type of ability right here. This is a permanent 3 key and 18% attack to the whole extreme class team the entire fight if it's up. Like, it's just nuts. But in every single relevant fight, you can't have that, right? Like, it's even like the Gods and Mortals event, even like pretty much all of those, like you can't activate it. So I don't know. I just Turles is very fragile. Very easy for Turles to be completely destroyed. He does have damage reduction here, but I mean, this is the thing we'll talk about a lot. This is just, I mean, you might as well not even have it at this point. Like, this is not, like, no. It's like if this would be fine if Turles was guarding already. Like if Turles already was guarding, and then he got this 20% damage reduction. It's like, okay, I mean that's good. You know, because you'll see this guy at 700k defense, you know, maybe 800k defense with Wank, right? Like he gets into that range once he does his the 4 super attacks. So he'll be at that level. You know, 20% damage reduction and guarding, he'd be a really good character right there. I'd be like, damn, he's very powerful, right? That's something where it's like, even like Red Zone Fusion Zamasu, you know, the first turn, you know, maybe he'd get hit, he'd take a little bit of damage. Once he gets a couple of super attacks in, he would be a god, this Turles. But unfortunately, rather than go a defensive route, they went offensive with him. And, I mean, again, we're always going to be arguing till the end of time, but it's just, offense is always worse than defense, right? Unfortunately. So super effective on all types, and additional has a high chance to be a super from the turn in which he does his 6th attack. This is a classic super additional super additional normal death character is what this guy is. I think if this was like your 5th best unit on the team, you'd be in a good spot, and his like intro was up, but it's just not the way it's gonna work. One thing I would say is that this would synergize really well with characters like Tech Fusion Zamasu, who is very tanky and has the huge damage reduction, right? Like, Turles' ability, I mean, Turles doing 2 super attacks is probably pretty common, unless you're me, where I always get additional normal, right? And it's like, even with 2 supers, he is healing 12% HP, which, I mean, it's not like the craziest ever, but again, if you're comboing that with characters that could reasonably tank these big boss attacks, that can be effective. But I mean, this is just not a crazy character to summon for. And again, if you're free to play, you have to understand that you can't just, I'm summoning, okay, and then you pull nothing. The point is, you summon on a banner like this. So we have Turles, who's mid. Amand and Raisin are great. They're villain Vegeta and Trunks is what they truly are. This character, let me quickly talk about them. This character's okay. Yamcha, I would say I feel even better about right now than I would have a month ago. Just Yamcha is great for all these fights because the fights hit so hard, even the best defensive characters can't reasonably tank, and Yamcha's a dodge character. So it's like dodge characters right now, like Yamcha, are eating much better than, you know, a lot of guard characters, right? Take really good guard characters, are going to get blasted. But, like, if you dodge, you're good. And then, obviously, Bardock, I mean, it's so funny. I ran Bardock against, was it Red Zone Zamasu or Red Zone Goku Black? I did one of them. And he was very good with his intro, but then they dropped the Fusion Zamasu stage. That's not going to work. You could run Bardock if he just never gets hit. And he'll have an impact in these newer fights with his Scouter, but I mean, he's not good. Obviously, Bojack sucks. Obviously, this Turles sucks. This is just a worthless banner. I mean, this is shit. The global sync, here's a point where the global sync could hurt, is because, I mean, if you're a global, if you summon on this, and you're not like, I mean, I don't know, someone who is like, you know, very comfortable in life, you could, you know, drop some money on the game, sure. I mean, if you really enjoy it, don't let anyone tell you can't put money into something you like. That's not, like, hurting someone, right? So, like, you want to put money in the game, sure, whatever. But, like, it's like, this is, like, if you're ever going to skip, it's something like this, is what I'm trying to say. So we have Turles. Here's just the timeline of events, which we could quickly just look at. So, the Turles celebration does have quite a few things. We have the Turles SoCon event. We have LR Dr. Wheelo, who should be coming. The Turles story event becomes the Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball story event. The free-to-play Turles gets an awakening. There's a couple of Sub-EZAs that happen as well. And then we move over to June. LR Gohan and Goten get their EZA. You get the Great Ape Kid Gohan chain battle. More quest mode stages are going to be coming. The Vegeta Super Strike, and then this Goku, and a burst mode as well. This is a fun burst mode against the Turles Dokkan event, because it's the Turles Dokkan event. It's structured a little differently. It's not just like the same, you know, Dokkan event. And then we also have the Spirit Bomb LR Goku, who really is competing with Raditz as the worst release ever. He's right there with Raditz, man. Like, I'm so serious, he is. Like, this guy is actually the Raditz of Yellow Coin LRs. Like, it's crazy. Back-to-back years, they actually dropped a unit, like, this bad. Like, this guy, I really actually, like, Raditz is going to be the king of memes. I really want to say this guy is worse. Like, for every mark, this guy is worse. And it's just, the fact that he's the third base Goku they dropped in 4 months, and he's also the worst character of the year, is just so crazy to think about. It's so crazy to think about. All right, so we got Diaz and Cacao. They're an okay character, but it's like they're very specific, right? They have to be attacking in slot 2 or 3 in order to get their dodge chance. Their dodge chance also only triggers once they attack. So, you know, a fight like Red Zone Fusion Zamasu or the Omega fight, literally the two hardest fights in the game, they will struggle in. But this is a character that potentially could put in work, you know, against like Red Zone Goku Black or Zamasu. The problem you'll quickly understand with this character, though, and one reason I shy away from running them, is this right here. No big bad bosses. And guess what you're going to want to do with Turles? You're going to want to build around the best link in the game. But, there's a double-edged sword to the best link in the game right now, and that's that the entire roster sucks ass outside of 2 characters, basically. We'll say 3, right? 3 characters are really good. Tak Zamasu, AJL Zamasu, and Piccolo Jr. The rest of Big Bad Boss's characters that can be good, it's conditional good. Like this guy. This is the biggest conditional good, one of the biggest conditionally good characters in the game. In base, he's fodder, a loser. He transforms and he's God, right? Like he's a great example of what you're working with Big Bad Boss's characters, right? Like it's dark right now. Let's just say that. But I mean, it's like the impact, because this unit, I think this is fine, but they also should have been giving Space Traveling Warriors 3 key and 40% attack and defense, right? Yet you tack that on there, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I'm running them now. But they're not supporting Turles, and they don't have Big Bad Bosses with Turles. Why the hell would you run this character? And, by the way, Cardinal Sin, no defense on super attack effect. We do not appreciate that. Then we have Villain, Vegeta, and Trunks right here. That's essentially what they are. This is Villain, Vegeta, and Trunks, but they also do support planetary destruction. And again, one reason we could say they're Villain, Vegeta, and Trunks is because they have guard and damage reduction. Massive combo, but it's only as the first attacker in the turn. This is far less of an issue compared to Vegeta and Trunks, I would say, because the only thing that really... the only issue I have with Vegeta and Trunks being locked in slot 1 is just the presence of AGL Vegito Blue, who needs to be in slot 1, pretty much, usually. And then also LR Full Power Super Saiyan 4, who also needs to be in slot 1. That's my only issue with Vegeta and Trunks needing to be in slot 1. This character doesn't really have that issue, right? It's not like you don't have a laundry list of villains like, oh, damn, they're fighting to be in slot 1. It's like, no, not really. Pretty much every villain character is a slot 2 character or a slot 3 character, so... yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, certainly, you go into one of these newer fights, they'll take a lot of damage at the start, just like Vegeta and Trunks will, just like AGL Carnival Goku will, just like, in LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku will, but just like those characters, I mean, if things could go right for you, they could be good. Now, one huge advantage, please listen to me, people are so annoying right now about, like, dodge, it's just, they build up every time guard is activated, right? You follow me? So if they're in slot 1 and you dodge, they are building up. So obviously, you give them full dodge, right? Because even when they're dodging, they are building up. There is literally no downside. You are bringing this character for support and defense, okay? You don't need to spam crit, additional. You don't need to do that. It's not a smart way to go about it with this character. They also do have one negative, which I don't care about, because again, defense and support is why you run them, but this character will struggle for ki. But it's not a big deal, right? I don't, like, this character missing super attacks, oh no, like, who cares? It's not why you're running them. So, I just don't really find that a big deal with them, right? This character doesn't need the super attack to be good, so. So we have them. There's also the Sub-EZAs for Great Ape Turles. Great Ape Turles is a serviceable, decent character. If Turles gets a super attack first, and, he's got some of these links up, like Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, stuff like that, this is a character, who can double-digit tank a lot of normals. I have not used him in some of the newest stages, so I suppose that there's a chance he could get smoked in there. Certainly by Fusion Zamasu's AoE, but the problem with me saying that is it's like, well, yeah, no shit. That's 99.9% of characters in the game can't handle Fusion Zamasu's AoE. So it's like, yeah, duh, right? But I mean, this guy, for a Sub-EZA, this guy's quite good, I would say. I'm not high on this guy because I cannot stand this. He is a type orb changer who is going to be run in slot 3. So what that means is he will create orbs he cannot use, because you can't run this guy in slot 1, right? You're going to be running good characters in slot 1. So by the time you get to him, his 50 defense per orb is not really something you could super take advantage of. I'm just not really the biggest fan of this guy. I mean, at least he is actually getting defense from a super attack effect, though, with that, which is nice. I think if this guy was a Rainbow Orb Changer, maybe we could talk a little bit more. I'd like him a little bit better. At least he is a support. I mean, considering what this guy was before, right? I would say that, I can't hate they gave him a solid Sub-EZA. He did get defense, and he does have great art, which, I mean, as some bonus points, I guess. And then this is just a free-to-play tier list. I would argue this free-to-play tier list is actually quite solid, but, understand we're talking about Super Battle Road content or Battlefield or something like that, right? Like, you take this guy into Super Battle Road, you're going to have stun, you're going to have the potential to guard, the potential to dodge, like, all different types of things. I think for a free-to-play character, this guy is fine. Not meant to be run against Red Zone Fusion Zamasu, but in, like, a Super Battle Road stage in one of these right here, pretty good, right? I think for a free-to-play character, I will take this. I think this is solid. This is actually good in that this is a free-to-play character, check this out, who they awakened, but they didn't EZA him. And they gave him a service, like, he's serviceable. Like, you could use this guy in Super Battle Road stages. And now, novel idea, novel concept coming up, we could EZA him not now, but later So he could be okay right now, and then in the future, he could be okay again. Oh my god. Crazy concept, huh? Yeah. They could do that. We have LR Dr. Wheelo, who sucks, unfortunately. I mean, I'm telling you guys this right now. This guy should have been the Dokkan Fest over Turles. Are we ever going to get a Dr. Wheelo card again? Probably. I mean, maybe. Dokkan's probably. I saw the revenue data for the worldwide celebration. Dokkan is probably not going away anytime soon. So we could get this guy as like a Dokkan Fest, something like that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they basically gave him all of his animations. I mean, it's like, yeah, listen, Dokkan original animations, they're gonna, come up with 50 for Beast and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Gogeta and Blue Vegito. Like, yeah, we're gonna be getting multiple Dokkan original Vegito Blue characters in the future. But I don't know about a ton of Dokkan original animation Dr. Wheelos that are gonna be coming. So this guy should have been the Dokkan Fest. He should have been monstrously better. Yeah, he's just, I mean, you look at a bunch of these, like, flat numbers and stuff like that, and it's like, you need, like, a revenge category ally, and I don't know. I don't really know what they're doing here. I mean, this is at least them saying, like, yeah, there we go. Now we have, every movie boss is pretty much at least represented, even if they don't have good cards. And then, I mean, these are more part 2 stuff, but just want to point out that LR Gohan and Goten CCA comes out. This guy, I'll save the super hyperbolic crazy ranting for, when he's announced for Global. And then, of course, this Vegeta, Super Strike Vegeta will be coming as well. So yeah, Global players, please skip. I know a lot of you, again, want to just be a smartass and you want to tweet me, watch me do my single summon. I'm so funny. Yeah, have fun. You're going to pull Turles off of your cheeky single, and you're going to go run him into an event, and then he's going to die. And you're going to say, well, I'm glad I summoned. That's exactly what's going to happen.